So third tool is scarcity. Induce a primal fear that makes people act today rather than never. Because there's a good chance that if somebody doesn't buy from you today, they're never coming back. They're busy, they're doing other things, they're clicking on other people's ads. They may buy somebody else's competing product, who knows? So there's a big reason to try to capture them today. This is for Amazing Selling Machine. We used to do like 1 or 2 launches a year. The first day we would get 30% of people to join. Then in the middle 5 days, each day would be a third of the signups total during those 5 days. So they're just kind of trickling in. The last day, after we've been talking about the freaking thing for 2 or 3 weeks, put out all the videos, all the ads, all the webinars, all the affiliates, all the everything, people are like, oh, you know what I should do? I should sign up today. This is a great idea. It would all come on the last day, on the last 24 hours. There is so much, was that you?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we would literally, oh, except for this. Oh, that's right, yeah. Times have changed, But we would literally send an email. I think a lot of times doors would close at like 2 a.m. Because we would do it Pacific time, we were in Central. And so we would send an email at 1 a.m. and then we would track the sales to that 1 a.m. email, and there would be a disproportionate number of people to how many people that email is going out to. It's insane. And so what we learned from this, and I use this in every business, is that last piece of scarcity, if you're gonna try to drive sales at anything with any bit of effort, maximize that scarcity towards the end. I'm trying to remember why the hell I have this photo in here. Yeah, so scarcity is basically sort of the fear that something's going to be taken away. We tend to, it's something called the endowment effect. There's something that we tend to value something more once we own it. Scarcity kind of works the same way. It's like as soon as you tell people like, hey, this deal is going to be taken away from you, then all of a sudden people kind of like freak out psychologically. Once again, kind of going back to our built-in wiring. So Amazon uses this all the time. And so they're obviously one of the biggest companies in the world. So anything we can learn from them is a good idea. We're definitely not smarter than Amazon. They're doing something right over there. So limited time deal, they're using this all the time. We should use the same kind of thing for our store as much as we can. Only 13 left in stock. We don't have this kind of thing engineered into our Shopify store, but it's not a bad idea. Most of our products we kind of sell all the time. We want to get away from, just as a side note, from using so many landing pages for all of our different products. For our main ones, sure. But for all the other variations and all that, we just want to make our product pages as good as possible because it makes life easier and more efficient. And so this would be a perfect thing for us to engineer in there because we have like flavor releases that literally are limited. And so any way we can use this kind of thing, super important. Amazon knows this drives more sales. We should be doing the same thing. This is people waiting in line for the iPhone. Some people, I guess, apparently even paid homeless people $35 to wait in line to get their iPhones, which is insane. People wanted the phone as soon as it was being released. It's the same idea of scarcity. So this is something I talk with Mike about every time we have any promotion for anything, is we need to be able to answer why buy this thing now. Anytime we're ever doing any promotion, if we're gonna send an email to customers to buy something, if we're gonna have a landing page for customers to buy something, we need to be able to answer, why should I buy this thing today as opposed to tomorrow? If we can't answer that, we're probably gonna miss out on a significant amount of sales. If we can answer that, then we're sort of ticking those boxes. When it comes to growing your business, there's a few boxes to tick. It's obviously like, if you're selling majority on Amazon, maximize that channel. If you think you've got products that can work on Shopify with sales funnels, all that kind of stuff, you gotta tick all these boxes. All the sort of contrast, the scarcity, the social proof. We've talked before last time, and happy to get into it later if y'all want. Increasing average order value. As long as you're ticking all those boxes, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then maybe it's because you gotta go back to the drawing board on the product or something, which is fine. But you gotta tick all those boxes. Because I think if you do all this stuff, then you're good. You've covered like 90% of the sales you're gonna get. I think if you're going too far beyond this, you're probably pushing ethical and sort of legal boundaries, which some people do, which I don't think we should. It's just not worth the risk. So these are the boxes you kind of have to tick. One of them is, why should I buy this thing now? A powerful scarcity word that we use is today. So you might be wondering, we run our landing page. We pretty much have unlimited stock on our main products. And so one way to kind of make people think, like, is this deal gonna be available forever? Is this supply gonna be available forever? Is to say, today you can get these bags at this discount. And we've tested different discounts, so this is not really dishonest, because if we could produce the same results at less of a discount, we would do that. We make more money. It's great. But all trade-offs considered, we can't. And so using this word is one way to kind of make people question a little bit, even on an evergreen landing page. If you have real scarcity, real supply limitations, use that. It's way better. But if nothing else, this is a way to kind of stack the odds in your favor a bit. We use it again here. Use it all over the place. Use it more if I can find more places to use it. On Amazon, another way, limited inventory, we talked about that. Limited time discounts, also very important. Limited edition products. There's a company, John does jujitsu. I think he's slightly better than me, significantly better. There's a brand called Shorter Roll, and their whole business model, from what I can tell, is they come up with like limited edition gis, and they post on social media, hey, we got this new color or whatever coming out. They sell out immediately. And that's their whole, you got these guys buying 4, 5, 6, 7 gis, like mediocre people like me that do jujitsu, that just do it as like a hobby. They're buying all these things because I think they kind of drive them to a frenzy. They're like, I'm never gonna be able to get this again. Yeah, they're the most expensive also. Interesting model, where everyone else is selling the same stuff, but they're just kind of available for evergreen. I don't think they do as well. So we do this with limited edition products. It's great. So we got some products that we only do in limited stock, like some of these premium like luxe ones. So as you can see, it says add me to the waiting list. We do this in like limited runs, and it works good. I mean, some of these products we'll sell for $50 a bag. And they're unique, kind of rare coffees that literally are in limited supply around the world and that kind of thing. Charles manages that side. But we do these kind of runs, and it's another great way. It gives you an excuse to communicate with your customers. So if you do like a regular promotion, that's fine. If you do one of these, like right afterwards or before, people aren't gonna be, you're communicating with me too much. Because you're like, hey, we got a limited number of these, take it or leave it. They're like, okay, I don't want it, but I'm not gonna unsubscribe. So it's another excuse to communicate with your customers. The easiest way to drive more sales, like I said, double down when a promotion is ending or if you're almost out of stock of something. Anytime you feel like you're almost out of stock of something and you wanna move some extra units, let people know. Great way, because that scarcity is gonna drive people that have been sitting on the fence or thinking about it, or they may think like, they're almost out of stock. People must really like this product. I should give it a try. So anytime you have a promotion ending or you're almost out of stock, that's when it's time to double down, not let off. If you had like a 5-day promotion and say you sent like an email on day 1, a handful of emails on day 2, 3, 4, I would send at least 2 on the last day, because that's gonna be where you're gonna get most bang for your buck. Put it on your website, put a banner, put a countdown timer, do all that kind of stuff. Anytime you have stock running out or when a promotion's ending, it's time to double down.